In Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon XD, the Pokemon Wailord was resized so that it would be more appropriate for the small battlefields in those games. But in Pokemon Battle Revolution, the scale of the battlefields were much bigger, and so an original sized Wailord was finally able to fit. Also, Wailord is the only Pokemon in Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Almia that doesn't need to be added to the browser because, as stated in the browser entry, it is too big to capture. From Generation 4 onwards, a basic Pokeball became a requirement to get a Shedinja, because when an Incada evolves and produces a Shedinja, a basic Pokeball is removed from the bag. This was different in Generation 3, because in Gen 3, Shedinja copies the ball Incada was in. This is the only legitimate way to get a Shedinja in a non-standard Pokeball. Also, the Shedinja shed from an Incada has no nickname, and the player is not given an opportunity to nickname it. The only way to give Shedinja a nickname is for the Nincada's original trainer to take it to a name raider. On a side note, according to the Pokédex entries, if you look into the crack on Shedinja's back, it is said that it will steal your spirit. Even though all of Shedinja's back sprite displays the crack perfectly, yet no negative effects happen to the player in-game. In the Pokemon episode titled Sparks Fly for Magnemite, the Pokemon Grimer makes its anime debut, and in that episode, Grimer has a very strong odor that made most people around the Grimer to cover their noses from the smell. However, in recent episodes, Grimer's smell no longer exists. This is most obvious in the episode titled Camping It Up, where Dawn is given a Grimer to train and it hugs her right away, but no one complains about any smell. According to the Pokédex, a Magneton is created when 3 Magnemite are linked by a strong magnetic force, but there are evidence seen in various forms within this media franchise that contradicts this concept. In the Pokemon anime, the episode titled Get Along Little Pokemon shows a Magnemite evolution, and during the evolution, the Magnemite creates 2 Magnemite instead of combining with 2 real Magnemite. This also happens in the main games. When Magnemite reaches level 30, it evolves without the aid of 2 additional Magnemite. However, in Pokemon Snap, a Magneton is clearly shown to be created by 3 Magnemite. Also, in the original Mystery Dungeon games, when 2 Magnemite get stuck together halfway through evolution, they mention how 3 Magnemite are supposed to come together to evolve. The number of claws the Pokemon Ursaring has had changed over time and between canons. In its original artwork, Ursaring has 4 visible claws. However, in the Generation 2 games, it has 3 claws. From Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire and up to Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, it has 4 claws. From the Gen 2 remakes and onwards, Ursaring has 5 claws in its game sprite, but in the Pokemon anime, it has always had 5 claws. The Pokemon Absol is known to have the ability to predict when a natural disaster is about to happen, but when it tries to warn people that danger is approaching, Absol itself gets blamed for the disaster. This misunderstood Pokemon had appeared in many locations within various games, warning others of the dangers ahead. In Diamond and Pearl, Absol appears near Lake Valor, which was drained by Team Galactic. In Platinum, Absol appears on Mount Coronet, in places that one can first access when heading to the Spear Pillar before Giratina is released by Team Galactic. In Black and White, Absol can be found at the Giant Chasm, a place where disasters are said to befall trainers, and Route 13, 13 being an unlucky number. Indeed, 2 years later, in Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, the Giant Chasm is where Team Plasma makes its stand, so the next time you spot an Absol, you'll know that there is danger ahead. Alright, that's all for this video. I'll be back with another video soon, so subscribe and stay tuned.